want you to think back to the last time a romantic partner told you, I love you. What did they mean by that? Yeah, I bet you don't know. Because it was in their head, but the only thing that came out of their mouth was, I love you. But they could have meant, I miss you. It could have meant, I'm going out of town, so this is what I'm supposed to say. If they said it really passionately, I love you, it could have meant, I'm sorry for what I just did, and I won't do it again because I love you. I love you. It could have meant, I'm about to leave you, but I still think you're cool, but I'm leaving. So all of those are different definitions and very different takeaways from the same three words, I love you. Because that's where the pain comes in. When we don't have a common definition, it starts to hurt because we have expectations that are in our mind of what the person meant by I love you. And then when they do something that's totally contrary to what we thought they meant, we get hurt, we get devastated. Because we had missed expectations, because we had a missed framework, a misalignment on what we thought love really meant. I was in the same situation. I just can't pick on you. In the first time my wife and I dated, it's a long story. And the whole story about how we dated is in the book, Date Like a Brand. The chapter is called the bonus chapter, Vinifer, Vince and Jennifer. But I digress. The first time that we dated, we told each other, I love you. And then we broke up, still saying, I love you. But we didn't really know what that phrase meant. There was no common definition. So we could say it all we wanted, but it was, whatever it was, wasn't right enough, right? So we broke up, took a long break, got back together. And so I started saying, well, when people say I love you, everything should be okay. Like that should mean that you have a solid relationship. So let's not say I love you again until we have a common foundation. So I, of course, having to figure out the answer why to everything and find the perfect framework, looked around the globe from priests to prophets to psychologists to thought leaders and tried to find what is the right definition for love. I, of course, looked at, the words that eventually were read at my wedding from Corinthians 1:13, and they are a profound definition of what love is. It's patient and it's kind, but it's lengthy and it's only it has a spiritual connotation to one sect, and I wanted to make it broader than that. And so then I looked at what other great books. There's a book called, I think, Soulmates. It says soulmates is when you're extending yourself for the spiritual growth of another. I thought that would be cool, but that's kind of limited too. So I searched all the different definitions, and then I found a book in my mother's house. This is the actual book from my mother's house. That's why I look so old. It's called The Art of Loving. And this is a psychologist's point of view on love. And he didn't define it. He went a step further to say, here's the evidence of love. And so he pointed out 4 things. It's not necessarily the definition of love, but this is what it looks like when it shows up. And these 4 things are so brilliant. I couldn't take one of them away, and I couldn't add a 5th one to it. It was just perfect. So in the book, Date Like a Brand, I didn't go and change, hey, here's a definition for love. I used what I thought was just the perfect framework for the evidence of love. And so Eric Fromm points out that love is 4 things: knowledge, care, respect, and responsibility. Now, the best way to think about this is to think about a story. Because we not only say we love each other, we say, I love my car, I love that dress, I love my dog, and I do love my dog. Coco is around here somewhere. But we say, I love my plant. So let's take a man that says, I love my plant, okay? But he doesn't know that the plant needs water. Does he love the plant? No, because he doesn't know something fundamental about that plant. So he doesn't love the plant. Now let's say that he does know the plant needs water. Okay. But he doesn't actually water the plant. He knows it, but he doesn't act on it. Well, he's not caring for the plant. So the first step is knowledge. The second step is caring. So let's say that he knows the plant needs water, and he cares for the plant, but he doesn't give the plant water. He gives the plant instead the cocktail that he has each night. He pours a little bit of that in the plant because it's easier that way, more efficient. Well, he's not respecting the fact that the plant needed water. The plant didn't need his Manhattan. And so respect is the third part of love. And let's say he knew the plant needed water. He watered the plant. He was consistent in giving it water because that's what the plant needed. But then he went out of town for 3 weeks and he left the plant there with no water. Well, he didn't show responsibility for the plant. He wasn't responsible for the plant. So with that analogy, you understand that it's not enough just to have one of those. If you want to have complete love, you need to have them all. Maybe not all completely, but at least sufficiently. Knowledge, care, respect, and responsibility. When you define love, you hold a higher bar for love. If it's not just, well, I told you I loved you. If it's, look, here's how I'm getting to know you better. Here's how I'm trying to care for you. Is that working? Here's how I'm trying to respect you and your needs. The ultimate part of respect is when you look at what the person needs, not what you think they need. So what does they say about the golden rule is to treat others the way they treat you, but the platinum rule is to treat others the way they want to be treated? That's respect. And when you climb that part of the pyramid, the last part, which is the hardest part, is I am responsible for you. I am my brother's keeper. I am my lover's keeper, right? And that bit of responsibility says I am responsible for not just for the entire pyramid. I'm responsible for knowing you, for caring you, for respecting you. And I'm actually responsible for being responsible for you. Now, that is very succinctly said. It didn't take but 10 more seconds than it takes to say I love you. But that is a completely different picture of the person that you're in a relationship if they said all of those four things. So when my wife and I got back together after our break, and I'd researched what love was and found this Eric Fromm piece, we started to joke around that I love you. And what does that mean? I'm all for you. That means I'm knowing you, caring for you, respecting you, and being responsible for you. So it was our little joke. I all for you. Or you can flip it to say I'm all for you. But either way, it means that you're starting to crystallize and give a framework and a body to this thing that we call love. And it's so much more meaningful. The Greeks had maybe 8 or more words for love, and they meant different things, right? We have one word really for love, but let's unpack it into 4 things that make it really actionable in a relationship. And it doesn't take the magic away. Love can be both magical and meaningful. It can be interesting and instructional, right? It's everything piled into this framework that allows us also to know when we need to step it up more and have a conversation. We can have a love assessment every year where we talk about, hey, these are the 4 things that, embody love, the evidence of love. Here's the parts that I think, that you've shown me the best, and here's the part I may need you to show me a little bit more. And when you walk away from the relationship, you start to look at what part of that pyramid was the part that collapsed the most. Usually it goes that you don't close off that 4th step of the pyramid, which is being responsible. Knowledge Yeah, a lot of people can check that one off. Even caring, respecting, we start to have more trouble with. But that last one of being responsible for, that's really that really shows a higher level of love. So with this framework, you can move more confidently into your relationships. If you're dating someone that doesn't want to understand what love is, like why should I have to tell you what I mean by it? They're probably not showing the emotional maturity that you need to move into a fully grown relationship. This is not, it's not asking a lot for someone just to unpack what love means. And I'm not saying every time you say I love you, you have to say I all for you and repeat these 4 things, but at least you have a common definition so you also know what's not there. When you're not seeing this evidence, that means that it's not love there. It may be something else there, but if they're not bringing these 4 to the table, you're not setting yourself up for a sustained relationship. So this is one framework in the book, Date Like a Brand. Click the next video for more frameworks that I think you'll find even more helpful.